Okay, so have you ever wondered what actually happens when AI evolves past just chatting? I mean, when it stops passively answering our questions in a text box and suddenly starts taking proactive action on our behalf? We've all gotten pretty used to AI as this conversational tool, right? But the source material we're unpacking today makes it crystal clear. The era of passive chatbots is officially behind us. We are stepping into this wild new era of proactive, autonomous frameworks.
Welcome to today's Explainer. As we really dug into today's source material, it became incredibly obvious that we are looking at a monumental shift in tech. We're diving into the groundbreaking announcement straight out of Google I/O 2026, specifically focusing on what is being called the Agentic Revolution. And the core theme we're seeing here is a pivotal evolution. We're talking about moving from basic generative models to highly autonomous developer tools and personal agents that actually do things for you out in the real world.
All right, let's dive into our roadmap for today. 1. Gemini 3.5 Flash arrives. 2. The Anti-Gravity 2.0 framework. 3. Agentic coding in action. And 4. Agents at massive scale.
Section 1. Gemini 3.5 Flash arrives. The core engine. Before you can have an AI vehicle that drives itself, you need an incredibly powerful core engine. To really grasp this leap, we have to look at the previous standard versus the new reality. So Gemini 3.1 Pro, that was a highly capable conversational model. But Gemini 3.5 Flash, it's the first in a series that explicitly combines frontier intelligence with action. When you put it head-to-head with 3.1 Pro, Flash is just better across the board. What is absolutely vital in the source material is its massive progress in coding capabilities and specifically the GDP-Val benchmark. If you're not familiar, this benchmark basically tracks real-world, economically valuable tasks. It means the model is being evaluated on complex problem-solving that actual businesses rely on. Flash isn't just sitting around writing poetry. It is engineered from the ground up to do valuable work.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this massive 4x jump. Gemini 3.5 Flash is 4 times faster at outputting tokens per second than other frontier models. It's a highly capable model, absolutely comparable to the best in the world. But with that speed, when you plot intelligence versus output speed, Flash is sitting completely in a league of its own. Look, when you're trying to build agents that interact and execute in real time, every single millisecond counts. That incredible speed is exactly what makes real-time agentic action possible, without all those frustrating bottlenecks or lag.
Section 2. Anti-Gravity 2.0 framework. The developer vehicle.
If Gemini 3.5 Flash is that blazing fast engine we just talked about, anti-gravity is the sophisticated vehicle developers will use to actually steer these capabilities. The sources define Anti-Gravity 2.0 as a new standalone desktop application, essentially acting as an invisible harness. It delivers this unabashedly agent-first experience that's optimized entirely for core agent conversations, handling the artifacts those agents produce and, crucially, managing multi-agent orchestration. It's the essential framework allowing Gemini to translate all that intelligence into seamless, real-world tasks.
For the engineers tuning in, this dense developer tooling is where this actively unlocks your daily workflows. The Anti-Gravity Suite brings a full CLI experience. We're talking command-line interface tools right at your fingertips, so you don't even have to leave your terminal to orchestrate these agents. There's a dedicated anti-gravity SDK, native voice support utilizing new audio models, and deep integrations with platforms like Android, Firebase, and Google AI Studio. So you aren't just sending queries to an AI anymore. You are natively integrating its actions directly into your own development environments. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so the crucial point is how this actually functions under the hood. The anti-gravity harness introduces some really powerful new core primitives, subagents, hooks, and asynchronous task management. And these primitives were explicitly co-optimized alongside the Gemini 3.5 Flash model. This means you can deploy a master agent that just spins up subagents to handle specific problems asynchronously in the background. It entirely changes the architecture of how software can be written and how incredibly complex problems can be broken down and solved all at the same time.
Section 3. Agentic coding in action. The ultimate stress test. Theories and frameworks are great, sure, but the source material highlights an ultimate stress test that truly blew our minds. To push the absolute limits of what's possible here, engineers gave these new agents an incredibly complex challenge: build a working operating system from scratch. They didn't want a simple script, they wanted a fully functional OS.
And here is exactly how that played out. Step 1, they deployed Gemini 3.5 Flash using the new Anti-Gravity 2.0 harness. Step 2, the primary agent intelligently leveraged subagents and asynchronous tasks, writing the entire codebase completely autonomously. In Step 3, The moment of truth. They successfully booted the custom operating system and, because let's be real, it isn't a real OS until you can do this, they played the video game Doom on it. It's the classic developer benchmark, but achieved in a completely new way. An AI agent managed by a framework built an entire operating system from scratch, capable of running complex software. Just let that sink in for a second.
And this brilliantly illustrates the practical application of these tools, like we see in the development of the new macOS Gemini app. It was built by a remarkably small team, completely natively from scratch using anti-gravity. The output? An application packed with over 100 features, and the entire timeframe from the very first line of code to the finish line was less than 100 days. This proves that agentic coding is dramatically accelerating development timelines right now. It's acting as a massive force multiplier for human teams.
Section 4. Agents at massive scale, bleeding into the everyday.
So we've seen the hardcore developer side, but how do these capabilities actually bleed into everyday life? Well, we're entering the era of search agents. You can now set information agents to work for you 24/7 in the background, continuously scanning the web. Apartment hunting? It automatically checks location and natural light criteria across forums and real estate sites. Love sneakers? It monitors blogs for obscure drops. But what is truly astonishing is how the agentic coding power of Flash generates completely custom user interfaces on the fly. Ask a complex question about astrophysics, like how binary black holes create gravitational waves, and Search doesn't just spit out text. It dynamically builds a brand new, interactive visual widget in real time. It's essentially coding a custom application right in front of you, just to answer your specific question.
And then there's Gemini Spark. Spark is your personal AI agent running 24/7 on dedicated virtual machines on Google Cloud. You can literally talk to it, give it a brain dump of multi-threaded tasks like, planning an entire school year calendar, organizing your emails, and drafting invitations, and then just close your laptop. Spark synthesizes your context, breaks down the requirements, and executes those long-running asynchronous tasks under your direction in the background while you just go about your day. It completely reshapes the concept of a digital assistant.
The keynote from the source material ended with a sentiment that I think perfectly encapsulates the gravity of this shift. They noted, and I quote, "When we look back at this time, I think we will realize that we were standing in the foothills of the singularity." This technology isn't just some iterative software update. It is viewed as a profound force multiplier for human ingenuity, capable of ushering in a completely new age of discovery and progress by automating the heavy lifting of execution. Which brings us to the ultimate question we really have to ask ourselves today. As we officially equip AI to stop just chatting with us and empower it with frameworks like anti-gravity and Gemini 3.5 Flash to actually start building, what will you create in the foothills of the singularity? The tools are literally in your hands now to orchestrate agents that can build almost anything you can imagine. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to look deeper into these developer tools and see exactly how they can transform your workflow.